and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answers to the human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers, and you can transform your life. Right now on WWNN in South Florida, Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2 hours, listen and call in toll-free, 888-565-1470. 888-565-1470, and watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and share love and light.
There Yes, indeed. There's a light right here on WWNN. And we are answering your questions at 888-565-1470. And what questions might you ask? I'm glad you did. Because we're answering questions about life. Where are you on the journey of life? Which way should you go next? Is that situation going to right itself, or is it time to walk away? These are the questions that we ask in life. Are my loved ones with me? Can I feel and connect to my angels, my guides? What's the next move for myself and my family? Is there a new opening for my career? Or do I need to pack it in and try something totally new? Why am I stuck? Why is life not moving? These are all questions that we navigate in the course of our experience. They're questions that we ask of ourselves and we ask of those we seek advice from. But in this case, we're seeking advice from Spirit. We're tapping in, we're tuning in, we're gathering the divine messages that are here for you. And as we open up this path of connectivity, know that you can reach us on Facebook and YouTube, Sarah Spiritual. Just go to the Sarah Spiritual page and you'll see us live. Or you can even watch us live at sarahspiritual.com. We're excited, enthusiastic to connect with you and bridge the connection between you and your journey to the divine and living your purpose, finding your mission, exploring who you are. And tonight, as I was getting ready for the show, I was going through the things that I have to do before I leave the house. And I started to hear the guides, the messengers. And they were talking to me about life and how we often look at someone else and think we know them. Have you ever thought you had someone pegged only to find out that you were wrong? You really thought they had a different way about them. And it turned to be quite the opposite. The reason I picked tonight's topic, to walk in another's shoes, is we know not what it is to walk in another's shoes because you don't know them. I had a story that my friend used to tell me, and she used to share with me all these details of how people might criticize her on her path of how she raised her child and the jobs that she had and how she managed, and the fact that she had lived with a friend for a while because she really couldn't hack it on her own. And she had felt that a lot of people had judged her and made her not feel like she was a good enough mother or a good enough person or successful. And then those same friends that used to point out all the things that she was doing wrong, they kind of stopped being her friend when she got on the road to success, when she had her own place, when she got herself this really cool hairdo, and she started to work on herself, and she had this great job, and she was connecting with people. And she often said to me, she said, you know, Sarah, people see the glory, but they don't know the story. And I had never heard that before. And I was like, really? What do you mean? And she said, you know, they see the outside package, and they see you once you arrive, but they don't know the troubles that you've seen and the battles that you've had to fight to get there. It's like that overnight sensation who's a music rock star, or maybe that person who's an influencer on Instagram. Wow, bam, overnight sensation. But really? How do you know that influencer wasn't making videos with 3 people watching for years, and then one video went viral, and now suddenly they're an influencer? Or that person who used to sit playing guitar and singing a song off in the corner somewhere while everyone else was talking over them. And then one day they met the right person who introduced them to someone, and everything clicked. You see, we don't know what it's like to be someone else. And you never know what's going on with someone at this moment. Sometimes people hurt us, and it's not their intention. They're coming from their wounds. Sometimes we don't like someone, or they annoy us or bother us because we see a little bit of ourself in them. And that's the part we criticize within ourselves. And they're just reminding us of what we still need to work on. We don't know if someone has suffered. We don't know if they are battling a disease. We don't know what's going on with them. We just think we know. And the way we can be empathetic with people is to realize that they are human too, and that they've had problems, and they have had things they've had to overcome. Haven't you? And for some of us, our obstacles are very simple. They're blips on the screen of life that don't really inconvenience us, but set us back for a moment and we bounce back. But it's not that way for everyone. There are people who are at the top of their game and came tumbling down and had nowhere to go. Every door closed to them. And they had to literally build themselves up. I had a client who, she had a job, everything was going fine. She lost her job, she didn't have enough money. This was a few years back before what we're going through now. And she had to go live in a storage unit, kind of. She'd somehow sneak in and spend the few hours at night there and come back out. I'm not sure how she pulled that off, but that was her refuge. You know, we've heard stories of people who just can't keep it together now. And we don't know why that is. Some people may say, well, you should have planned better, you should have done this, but you don't know. You don't know what else they were handling. Sometimes people are not just taking care of themselves. Often they're taking care of family members. And it's not that simple to just budget and cut back because there's a lot to cover for one person. Maybe that person has just gone through a breakup and they're not being themselves. And you decide that you don't like them because of how they're behaving. Well, maybe the breakup is causing them to be a certain way. There are people who have gone through things that we cannot comprehend. I was always fascinated when I would hear the story of someone who was battling an illness and no one ever knew. And then one day in passing, I learned that they were just coming back from a doctor's appointment and a treatment. And I kind of looked and I said, really? They're like, yes, I have such and such disease. And I went, oh, wow. And then we began to talk about that, but I never knew. And there are people who like to keep things private. Maybe we're not meant to know everybody's story, but you still have to put yourself in their shoes because you don't know what they're really going through. You don't know if they're having a bad day. Just this Monday, I went to go to the eye doctor. And the last time I went to this place, it was a beautiful experience. It was fun. It was nice. And I love my eye doctor. And so I'm sitting there waiting my turn. And then there's that part where they put these other drops in your eyes and they're dilating you and you have to sit there. So I decide I'm going to process what I was purchasing on the other side while I was waiting being dilated. Well, that was a big mistake because apparently the person in the front was just having the worst day. And I very politely asked the question that said, how's your day? That was not a good question because she told me everything. Later on, we found out that she didn't get a glass of water. I mean, we found out everything. And she really was very frazzled. And it wasn't the best representation because she actually is the first person you see when you walk into the storefront of the eye doctor's office. And so she was just so rattled. The phones were ringing. She couldn't work the system. And she was really having a hard time. And so I kind of kept my composure, just let her do her thing. But it wasn't a good experience. But I don't know what happened before she even came in. Or how they just threw upon her maybe that day this system and told her, figure it out. We don't know. But we do know that the experience wasn't the best. But you could see that she was frazzled. So even though it wasn't feeling comfortable for me on the other side of the counter, I was listening to hear all the things that were going wrong for her. And I thought, I've been there. I know what that feels like, to feel overwhelmed and not have things work or know how to make it work and someone's expecting you to make it work right away. Well, hey, we've had that happen here live on air. We want to make it work. It doesn't work sometimes. And we got to recalculate something and reposition and redirect something so we can get this show on the road. Things happen. You don't know. You don't know what gets someone to the point of where they are. And often, some of people's greatest moments have a backstory of their worst possible moments as well. And those bad moments, those uncomfortable moments, those setbacks are exactly what put them in the right place to be receptive for blessings and opportunities that the divine has for us. That there's a higher story, even though we're going through the struggle. But we never know. You never know when you're walking down the street, when you see that homeless man sitting there and trying to come up to the car and asking for money. And it says they need food and they're hungry. A lot of people have an opinion as to who that person is and what their story is. And they most likely make the assumption that perhaps they're on drugs or they're not going to do the right thing with the money. They won't go buy food. They'll go buy alcohol or drugs. So a lot of people don't feel that they want to give them money. And that's a personal choice. But it's the thought process that we have around someone's homeless. Maybe that's all out of their control. Maybe something happened that you can't even fathom because your life has gone rather well, except for a few blips on the screen of the experience of life. I remember when I used to go down to New York City for work. I actually would cut across the Hudson River on the ferry, get off, and I would walk to State Street. And along the way, I would see this homeless man sitting outside the building, and I would see him every day. So first it began with, I'd say hi, and I'd give him a smile. And then after a few weeks went by, I would give him some money. And then one day, when I was making my lunch, I said, I'm going to make 2 sandwiches. One for me and one for that gentleman sitting outside, just kind of huddled up on the cold wind that's blowing down the street. I'm going to give him a sandwich. And I remember feeling so excited. I was like, I hope he's there. And sure enough, he was. And whatever I had made, I said, I hope you like this sandwich, and I gave it to him. You should see the look on his face. Not that he didn't appreciate the $3 or $5 I might have had. I would always kind of take it out and have it in my pocket, ready to just hand him and keep on moving. You know, when you walk in the streets of New York, there's no stopping. You got to keep it going because the flow of people walking to work is heavy traffic, kind of like the highways. So I gave him the sandwich, and he was so ecstatic to receive this sandwich. And so it became a little tradition between us. Every time I would make my sandwich, I would make an extra one. Some days I'd see him. I didn't see him always. And I would always give him a sandwich. And then it always worked out. On the day I didn't see him, I was extra hungry from all the running around and walking I did. And I'd be like, I get to eat another part of a sandwich because it's here. And it was just a feeling. And no, I don't know how he got there. And I don't know what kept him there. But I do know that he needed some guidance and assistance, and he needed some friendship. He needed someone to reach out to him and to see him. Not see him for the condition of where he was at the moment, but to see him as another human being. I remember another time I was in Seattle. I was there for a business conference, and I had a little bit of a break. And on my break, I was walking by the river and the water. And I was walking down, and there was a man singing and playing music, and people were giving him tips. But you could tell he had been a little rough around the edges. Life had thrown him a couple of hard bumps. And you could see some people were listening, and then some people were kind of hesitant, but then they'd put some money in the bucket. And he was just there. And I had time to kill. And it was so beautiful looking at the water. And where he was just so perfect that I sat down next to him. And we began to have a conversation. And he was telling me about his life and things that had happened to him along the way. And the journey was intense. And he did have his own place. He wasn't homeless. He just was struggling. And he needed some help because what he received in a form of a check monthly it wasn't enough. So he had found this way to connect with people. Then we got talking about spirituality. And he had some of the most interesting takes on spirituality and connecting. And he pulled out some of his writings that he had. And he shared these writings with me. And he even gave me some to take home with me. And he and I stayed in contact for a while via letter. And we talked about different things that he experienced down by the waterside and the people he met. And then one day, not sure how, things just, time and distance just separated the exchange of letters. So we fell apart as far as a connection. But if you knew this man's story and who he was in his early days, you would not look at him the way you looked at him sitting on that water bank with his little tip cup, playing music and not so well singing and entertaining people. You would not judge him the way you judge him if you knew who he was. And the intelligence and his ability to communicate and his sensitivity and his connection to God. If you knew that, you wouldn't look at him that way. And so I learned so much from those simple experiences. And I continue to learn. As I sit across from people every day, I hear people's stories. And I get an idea of how we get to where we are. That's maybe our most vulnerable or difficult moment. And I see people who are successful make one wrong choice, and suddenly everything's going sideways, and they don't know how to make it right again. And they're judging themselves, and they're hard on themselves, and they're so caught up in keeping the facade of who everyone else thinks they are, that they can't be kind and compassionate and empathetic to themselves, and realize that they too are human, that they do make mistakes and things happen. And sometimes unexpected things take us off the track that we thought we were on. But there's always a solution. There's always a higher message in all of these things that we go through. Every person has their story. And you don't know that story unless you take the time to talk to them and listen to what they say. Every day I am amazed at the human spirit. The ability of a human to survive and overcome obstacles. I have seen people come through events in their life, I don't even know how, but they have risen above the obstacles. They have chosen to be present in the moment and active in everything they do. And they choose another story. And they don't lose themselves in the story that's trying to pull them down a drain. And always when you look at someone, you have to remember that there's a piece of God in every human being. Whether it's evident to you, God's in everyone. Even some of the people that you would say, how could that be? But God is there. And we have to look for the light and feel the light. There's a song that I love, and it says, what if God were one of us? Just a stranger on the bus trying to make his way home. What if God was sitting right next to you? What if the person that you see as homeless is really just a manifestation of an angelic being that's there to see if you can stop and see the God in the person, rather than see them as someone who's less than or different or not as good as you? There is an aspect of God in everyone. And until you walk in their shoes, you don't know how they articulate who they are, what the reason is for their journey. And I promise you, from what I've seen from all these people over the years, some of the craziest, most difficult stories have been the stories that God has used to take people to a whole nother level in their life, emotionally, spiritually, financially, in their success. They get lifted up. From the darkest moment, they pass the test, they stay steadfast, they hold the course, they look forward, and they move in the direction of what comes next. And then out of the blue, God just lifts them up. You don't know. Life isn't always success and overnight sensations. Life is a series of steps we take on the path that often cause us to trip, to fall, to have to make our way through darkness till we find the right lit path that we can walk with our head held high and know that everything's going to be all right. Well, tonight we know here on WWNN for sure everything's going to be all right because we're tuning in, we're tapping in, we're bringing in the energy, we're talking to all of you right here live. Call in 888-565-1470. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and that's me, Sarah Spiritual. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Looking for answers to life's questions? Would you like to connect with your angels and loved ones? Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. for Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, an interactive call-in show. Call in at 888-565-1470 and speak with Sarah Spiritual. Let Sarah Spiritual raise you up.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Do you know me? before.
Do you know me? Have we met before? I am Sarah Spiritual, and we are spiritually speaking to all of you all across the nation at 888-565-1470. And this is our 639th live show. Over 13 years hanging with all of you people. So I'm so glad that we have been just jamming up the phone lines for 13 years, connecting and asking questions and growing. And I love to see the growth in everyone. Speaking of growth, well, would you like to go to summer school? Not just any summer school. Sarah Spiritual Summer School. We've got some classes coming up. We've got our manifestation class. You want to know how to live in a life of abundance regardless of the lack and the scarcity, and how to create abundance in your life and fulfill your destiny. Well, we've got a class on July 12th, 2022, and that cost of the class is only $11 because we want you to be a part of the flow, and so that money will come to you. And then we've got another class coming up that is connecting to all the things that help you align with connecting to the divine, how to perform the rituals of energy, repetition, prayer. You know, even doing a rosary is a form of a ritual. So we're going to tune in and teach you all the rituals and how they work for you. And we're going to be going over that on our fabulous day of 7/21. And that class is only 13. Our classes begin at 7:30 p.m. They are online. All you do is register at sarahspiritual.com. You can read all the details and be sure to click. And then we've got some other classes coming up. And are you really ready for boot camp? Do you want to work out with Sarah Spiritual? Let's get spiritual. We are going to go to our spiritual boot camp at the end of the summer. So I sure hope you're ready to roll up your sleeves, break into a spiritual sweat, and make some things happen spiritually, because we're going to help you on that journey as well. Visit sarahspiritual.com for further updates. But that class is coming soon, so you'll be seeing some information about that. Are you local in West Palm Beach, here in South Florida? Please visit me at the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. We have a beautiful array of spiritual products that can assist you on your journey. We've got books, we've got incense, we've got crystals, we've got beautiful jewelry. We have oils and sprays, you name it, we've got it on the path of enlightenment. You can learn more about us at sarahspiritual.com or the ExpeditoEnlightenmentCenter.com. Just pop it in the feed and let us know if you want to come visit us in our wonderful place in sunny South Florida. If not, visit us online. We're going to go to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. We've got calls all across the nation. I'm going to go to the west, not the west coast of Florida. I'm going west. I guess it's more the northwest. I'm going to Oregon. I've got Terry on the line. Terry, how you doing tonight?
Good. How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing well. Good to connect with you at this time. And this year is a year that seems like it brought up some difficulty for you. The end of last year into this year seems to be a bit of a roller coaster, yes? My guides kind of wiped the sweat off their brow. They're like, okay, she is coming through it, Sarah. And yeah, she broke into a sweat. Things got a little shaken up. But they make me aware that this is the year that things turn around for you when I take you into the energy of after your birthday. Things start to recalculate themselves, Terry. I'm feeling this energy of progress. I'm feeling this energy of alignment. I'm feeling this energy of increase in the financial arena. I'm also feeling very connected to you in the energy of a woman connected above you, stands in the maternal place. She places herself in the mother's energy, mother, grandmother, but feels as she steps forward more motherly. Is this your mother, please, Terry, that has passed?
It's my grandma.
It's your grandma. Grandma was like a mother to you, please, because she has a very maternal energy. Did she look after you, take care of you, please?
Yes, I grew up with her.
You grew up with her. Okay. She wants you to know that she's with you. She's standing in support. I feel like emotionally you've been drained and kind of beaten up, and that you've actually been calling out to her. Does that make sense?
Yes, I have.
Okay. She wants you to know that she's with you, all right? What is your question for me tonight, Terry?
My question is the situation that I'm in right now. Am I ever going to get out of here? It's, it's a domestic situation, and he scares the heck out of me, and I just want out of here.
You will.
And I just want to know if you
will. Yeah. Things will lighten up. They will. You got caught in a trap of an illusion of what you thought the relationship would be, and by the time you got enmeshed into the experience, there was no real getting out, and you weren't in a position to be able to just pick up and go. And now, if I remember the story, I feel like he's on the outside. He can't come in. Is this true?
Correct.
Okay. So you're at the place. He cannot come. There's a restraining order. And now it's a matter of you finding, where do you go next? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Doors are going to open up. Was there a conversation had, made aware of a conversation, something that feels like a communication with someone as to you could go and stay with them for a while, with someone that you're connected to, a friend, someone such as that? Because that's the feeling that they give me. Yes? Okay. And
my best friend Amber.
Okay. And so this would be something to do, but we also need a place from there to go. And is she not so much in that immediate area? You've got to go somewhere else, a little different, and so it uproots everything for you?
Well, she's about, like, how many miles? It's about probably 2 miles from here, but he won't know where I'm at.
Okay. Where can we go that's outside of that? Because if you go to Amber, that's temporary, because your paths are going to cross in that area, okay? So he won't know where you're at, but we want to be somewhere different. So I take you to another part of Oregon. I take you to another state. Who do you know? We need a rebirth, a resurgence to the top, okay? So how can we make that transition? This is what we want to look at, all right? And this will give you this opportunity. Amber's a stepping stone for you, but I see you away from where you are now. When I look at the energy, I also feel that nighttime is the worst for you.
Yes, it is.
Because you're afraid, yes?
Yes, I'm definitely afraid that he's going to do something to me at night. Okay. Definitely afraid.
Is there video cameras, something there to protect you or give you a notice? Yes.
I need to get some.
Yeah, that would be really important for you to do. But I don't know that you're going to be there for long. So I want you to just take advantage of this next opportunity, because as long as you stay in that residence, there is this overwhelming power of fear that is weighing you down. You can't think, you can't sleep, you can't think, you can't eat. Everything is weighing you down. So this is a time for you to take a step back and for you to say, let me see how I can get out of here quickly so I can move over to the next level of my life and then plan a whole new life for myself. All right?
Right.
All right. He views you as a possession. You're not supposed to leave. So there's this flow of, it's a love-hate relationship on his part. So we have to continue to break this, sever this connection.
Right.
I look at this energy, and I'm also made aware, Terry, that there's something with work and money coming for you. We're looking for a new role, a new job, please.
I don't know. I'm not working right now. I don't know.
Okay.
That would be awesome.
I see work. You need to put yourself out there for work. We have to pay for our place, yes, so we need work.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
There's something coming.
Correct. Right.
All right. So the longer I'm sorry.
Okay. Go ahead. I have one more question. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Sarah.
Yes. So as long as you see yourself in a new spot, that will give you an opportunity to think clearly, get a job, and begin to make your move. What is your question for me, Terry?
Thank you, Sarah, by the way.
You're welcome.
My other question is, I'm going on a cruise with my best friend, and her husband is not in great of health. Is he going to be okay while we're gone? And we're going to be gone like 7 days.
Well, what is her husband's birthday?
When's his birthday? 8/31/66.
Well, there'll be someone who'll be able to check with him, yes?
Yes.
Okay. I asked the question. My spirit guides were like, yes, someone will check with him.
Okay.
And you're going on a cruise. So you go on the cruise.
Yes. Yes.
And just trust everything will be all right.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome, Terry. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Thank you, and God bless you, Sarah. Thank you
God bless
so
you.
much.
Stay well and safe. Bye for now. Bye. 888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we're going to Arizona. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions at 888-565-1470. And before we went to commercial, I said, we're going to Arizona. So Arizona, here we come. And we've got Latanya on the line. Latanya, how you doing tonight? Hello, are you there? Please lower your radio or whatever's in the background. Latanya, how you doing? Latanya? Okay, we're going to pause, Latanya. We'll go to our next caller. She must not realize that we're there. And we are going to go to Felicia. Felicia is in Delaware. Felicia, how are you?
Good. Hi, Sarah.
Good to connect with you, my dear. What's going on? What's your question?
Okay, I have it written down here. Did my uncle meet his parents And did he have a message for me or my dad? And why did I lose 2 people in one day? And how do I fix it?
Well, you don't
One's
fix
living and one's dead.
well, we don't fix it really, right? Because they're not here, and so it's a difficult transition here. When I look at this energy, first thing I hear was that it was a soul contract, and they were part of your soul family, and it was time for them to exit the planet. One was in one part of the day, one was at the other part of the day, yes? Not at the same exact time, right? Beginning of the day, end of the day, yes? Okay. Your parents both have passed, correct? Is that what I heard you say?
They're not my parents. It was my uncle and his parents. He passed away.
Okay. Your uncle and his parents, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
It's my dad's brother.
Yes, and so this energy was very unexpected for him to pass. This is true, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Very.
Because he goes like, snap, I was here and I was gone. He makes me feel like it was unexpected for him. He was not expecting to leave the planet in his physical human being, but his soul knew it was time to go. He also makes me aware of a conversation. There was a conversation that the two of you had, was a personal conversation, not too far before he passed, please. Was there a conversation earlier in the week before he passed?
Yeah.
Okay. And you talked about very specific things that were personal to you, please, because he makes me feel like he was like a confidant to you. You talked to each other, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. He wants you to know he's with you. I can't talk when I connect into his energy. It makes me feel like I can't swallow. I feel like I'm losing my breath. So I feel like something happened where he just kind of lost his ability to breathe rather suddenly. Does that make any sense to you, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he fought chemo. And he was not strong anymore. They brought him home unexpected.
Okay.
And he passed the next 2 days.
Okay. And so when I look at the energy, I also made aware of next to him, there was someone who was a brother or like a brother to him. Did he lose a brother as well?
I haven't. He did lose a brother.
Okay.
Barry.
Okay, there's a brother standing next to him. I made aware of a man next to him like a brother.
My dad, Carl?
There's a man who's a brother. I don't have a name for you. I know that there's a man standing next to him that's his brother. All right?
Okay.
He was met by his parents, but I will tell you that the brother stepped forward to receive him. So the brother he's closest to who passed, that's the brother who met him.
Oh, my gosh.
Because the brother was like a friend.
Barry.
Okay.
Okay.
And so it was like a reunion for them. Because Barry had been gone for a while. Is this true? Yes?
Yes, he's been gone for a long time.
Yes, okay. So it was like a reunion. Like he was so happy to see him. And he was like, oh, my God. It's like real. Like there really is an afterlife. Like your uncle? He was like shocked. Like he knows what he heard, but he was shocked when he saw that he could really see the people that he lost, that they were really there. And so that was just such a powerful reunion. His energy's still settling in. I know this is a recent passing, so the connection is a little in and out because of that transition, but this is what he's transmitting to me so that you know he found his peace, he found his joy, and the fact that he had that connection, communication with you prior to his passing was very important to him, okay?
Uh-huh.
All right. Know that he's with you, my dear. Follow-up question for me, please, before we go. We have just a minute before we go to commercial.
The same day that I lost my uncle, I lost my sister's friendship.
Okay.
Because of his funeral with this corona thing.
Okay.
I don't know exactly why she cut me off or what's going on, but my sister I don't talk to anymore.
Okay. This will pass. This is something that was just an eruption of emotions, hurt feelings. She felt like she wasn't included in something. She got in her feelings. She got in her high maintenance mental way of being. She seems like she's a little demanding. And this will pass. You didn't really lose her, per se. You just lost the connection with her now. There's some pent-up resentment because dating back from the earlier years. I kind of take them to the 10, 11, 12, 13 times between you and your sister. Whatever that age group brought to you, that's fine. That's what they show me, all right?
Okay.
All right. Sorry for the loss, but know that this will kind of get easier with time, that he will make his way to you to give you a sign that he is with you. And your sister, you two will mend. It'll just take a bit of time. All right, honey. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Bye.
All right. Thank you.
888-565-1470. We're going to continue the conversation when we return right here on WWNN. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
There's a light.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Phone lines are open at 1-888-565-1470. That's 1-888-565-1470.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored
I am with
0956 or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual. Welcome back to the second hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions and to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in. 888-565-1470. 888-565-1470. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube. And you can share the love and light.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Here live on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions here live on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, interacting with all of our callers all across the nation. And we're going to try to reconnect with Arizona. Let's see if Latanya is available to pick up the phone now. Latanya, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing well. We heard you in the background. We heard some scuttle before, so we kind of left you there and just came back. I'm glad we're able to connect. And well, let's open up the energy and see what we've got going on for you here. First thing they make me aware of is energy of shifts, changes, connection. We need to connect with some people. We're networking. We're expressing ourselves. We're trying to make the right connections to grow our business. Yes? Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And are we building a new section of business? We trying to come up with a new creative idea for our own self-employment? Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely, yes,
okay.
ma'am.
So I see that around you as well. I'm also looking at this move. Did we move from somewhere and we still are looking for a place to land for business, please?
Oh, my God. Yes, ma'am. I just moved out of one location on Sunday.
Okay.
And, yes, I have another location. Yes.
But we're not in there yet, right? So we got to land, right? We took off for flight, but
yes,
we don't have a landing pad. Okay. This is coming together. Things are finally, we're finally getting in order. They make me feel like things have been a bit challenging, not how you thought it would be. And every time a door opened, it slammed on your foot and you couldn't go anywhere. So now it feels like things are picking up a new momentum for you. This is what you've been waiting for. Life is starting to calm down a bit so that you can focus on building your business and your brand. This makes sense to you as well, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is your question for us tonight?
Well, everything that you just said, and my car was totaled. So it's like,
one step forward, 10 steps back. Yes. Okay. Here we go.
Absolutely. So it's like, I need a car to get to work.
Okay.
I need to work to get a car.
Right.
And I'm just in this financial, like, seesaw because I have a landing place, but it's like, well, if you pay for this right now, then you can't get the car. If you get the car, you can't pay to move in. But I need them both.
You need them both.
I need one to be able to get to work. I need the other one.
I understand. So this is where we get to trust, right? We get to trust because something can open up for you. And you never know. And I know that you don't have a lot of connections there in Arizona. Is that true? We know a few people,
Correct.
but not a lot. And
Correct.
so we're
Yes,
building
ma'am.
our network for business. And we're also building our network of friends. So it's not like we have someone who can help us get to work or borrow a car and Uber back. And so these are things we have to look at. But I do believe that there is a solution. Something will come to the manifestation in front of you. I feel like we want to move by July 1st. Is that true? We want to land?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we're going to trust, and you walk around and you say, I don't know how, I don't know when, but at any moment, the divine is going to deliver a solution for something that I surrender to a higher power. The divine is going to deliver a solution to something I surrender to a higher power, because this is beyond your human capacity as to how this will happen.
Yes, ma'am.
But something will happen for you. They also bring up sun energy. There's a sun, please. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. What is the question on your sun? A lot of back and forth. Things are quiet. We still have one more thing we've got to look at, my guides make me feel. Like, is there something that still needs to be resolved around your son at this moment, please?
Yes, Lord. Yes.
Okay.
He is, he's battling, and today is the first day of a recovery from this addiction.
Okay.
Of fentanyl.
Okay. And which is a hard battle, right? So we send the angels, the healing angels, Archangel Raphael to be around him. We send Archangel Michael to protect him, to cut away the cords that bind him to this addictive pattern, behavior, and the wiring that it has created in his physical body that causes him to desire this fentanyl. But when I look at the energy around him, you know, your son is a survivor, and now we have a better understanding of why a good boy made some bad choices. Yes, this makes sense to you now, yes?
Absolutely. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
And so now we are at the root of it all, and I feel like he's on the right path for himself. It'll be a 2-year battle before he's really whole. I say that so that you're patient and he's patient with himself. It's going to take a long time for the body to release that hold. And as he releases that and gets used to not participating in that drug, things will begin to right for him. Highly intelligent, very creative, so there's plenty of things for him to do as he is focusing on loving himself first and moving forward. I know it wasn't the best transition to Arizona as you wanted it to be, and I also know that there is much for you to do. But I feel like a lot of the things that have happened, and hear what I'm about to say, have been not just lessons in trusting and allowing the divine to orchestrate your life, and not just challenges to make you stronger. There have also been things that have happened that could have been worse. The car was totaled, but you're okay. The car, as I like to say, took the energetic hit. So whatever was out of balance, whatever negativity or evil wanted to befall upon your family, that car took it. And you were spared because the angels were there to protect you. That really should have impacted you physically, but it didn't. How did that happen? That in itself is a miracle. So see yourself encased in the light and the bubble of light so that you realize you are very protected. And that's why I know a solution will come, because some of these things have been bumps in the path that have seemed brutal, but they're actually preventing further things from happening that were part of an energetic ball of, I don't know, heaviness that you somehow got sucked into, and it's cycling out. When I cycle you out in this energy and I look at this, this is the perfect time to reorg your life. And when we look at the energy of 2026, things are really beautiful. Things are fresh, new. You are recalculated everything that's going back to the energy of 1994. So whatever happened in 1994, my guides let me know that you're...
God.
Oh my God, what?
Okay.
What happened in 1994?
I had twins and I lost them.
I'm
And
sorry.
I packed up and moved to Arizona. I was distraught.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So my guides are letting me know that whatever the experience was in 1994, and thank you for being so transparent and sharing specifically what it was, you're closing out that chapter in your life. You're not that person anymore. We can let go of the hurt, the pain, the loss, and we can surrender to the divine because there's a divine plan working, even though your plan seems to keep getting interrupted. But there are doors that will open for you in divine time. You're going to walk through like the queen that you are.
Thank you.
It'll be good, honey. It'll be good. All right. Keep us posted. We know many of us listening to the show, people who follow the show on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and everyone, that we're all rooting for you. And we know that something magical will happen for you. I don't know when or how, but the divine's going to just open up a solution to this story that I have, and I surrender it. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye. 888-565-1470. We're going to go back to the phone lines. And from Arizona, we're coming right here to our local towns here, just right up the road. I've got a caller from Fort Lauderdale. We have Lauren on the line. Lauren, how are you? Hi, Lauren. How are you doing?
Hi, Sarah. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to connect with you. This is a powerful time for you. It is a time to be who you've come to be. I actually feel like your soul is opening up and you're looking for more connectivity, more guidance in the divine route rather than the man-made route. Does that make sense to you, Lauren?
Yes.
And there's a crossroad in the path. What is your question?
There's a situation, excuse me, my voice starts cracking because I've never had an experience
Yes.
like this. I'm losing sleep over it.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to worry about the situation that is coming up. It's just really scary. I just don't want to put it out there, but it's a legal situation, and I don't know what to do or where to go to get help.
And this legal situation is something that could get rather complicated, right? And you just need guidance, yes?
Yes, because it's never happened to me before, and I'm just all over the place. Just really trying to figure out what way to go, what's going to happen, because it's a very scary situation.
And when I see this energy around you, I feel like this is the very early stage of it, so nothing has really completely played out, right? But you know
That's
it's
correct.
coming down the pike. So you're trying to stay ahead of it so that you're prepared for what comes, so that you have all the right counsel, all the right guidance, and that you make the right next step and move, right? Because you don't even know what you should say or not say.
I don't know who to call, where to, what's the best route to this. I'm just ready for it to be over, and I don't know.
And is there something connected to money around this, please?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So here's the first thing, and I also have to ask you, is there a son connected to you as well, please?
No, I don't have any children.
Okay. There's someone who's talking to me about a son connected to your family, connected to the maternal side of the family. Who has a son connected to your family, please?
I have a few aunts. There's an aunt on my mother's side that has 2 boys, and I have an aunt on my father's
Mother's side of the
who-
family. That's where they place it. And is there trouble, or was there a trouble with one of those sons in something legal as well, please? I don't know. They're just kind of throwing that out.
I'm not really sure because I don't really communicate too much with that aunt. But if it was, I don't know anything about it.
Okay. So it was just, I'm talking to someone on the other side connected to your family. This person has passed. They're referring to something about a son. So I just needed to know where that fit in. So thank you for that.
Okay.
We do need to seek legal counsel. We do need the guidance of someone, because you can't wait for the other shoe to drop. You have to be proactive in this. And I'm going to say something to you, Lauren. It would be really beneficial if you and I could have a conversation offline in a session, because some of this we cannot say on air, and I know that. But when I look at this situation, and again, you don't know what's about to happen, but I see the fork in the road. I feel like there will be a resolution. I feel like as you fear what is happening, it does not have to play out the way you think it's going to happen. But that's why we want to seek the counsel of someone. I want you to pray Psalms 32, Psalms 34, and we'll write it down in our Facebook feed too, so you can go back. 32, 34, Psalm 7, Psalm 23, Psalm 27, and 28. So that's 32, 34, 7, 23, 27, and 28. These will help align the energy and also help people listen to you, so you can talk to the right people who can assist you in this matter. All right. And this is where your soul's really going to open up, and you're really going to understand how God's got your back. And I want you to know that people make mistakes, things happen, and there are ways out of everything. Okay?
Okay.
All right. I do hope you visit my website, sarahspiritual.com, and that over the next few weeks we can have a conversation and assist you in navigating this. In the meantime, seek a counsel of someone who would be able to represent and at least tell you how to proceed. Even though something official has not quite come down on you, you need to be prepared for that, because I feel like there's an investigation. Is that the right word for you? Does that make sense?
I guess that's what's going on in the background. I really don't know, because it's just a whole confusing situation to me of how everything transpired, and then for it to end up like this, which it didn't have to. So it's a very confusing thing, because it didn't have to go where it did, but the person who made it go this far is just, it didn't have to be that way, but that person was just,
Yes, causing a problem. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Because, tried to make the situation that was wrong right, and they didn't allow that to happen.
Right. And now they want you to be persecuted for it.
Yes.
I understand.
And it didn't have to happen that way.
I understand. But in their mind, you were being malicious.
Yes.
Okay? That's their viewpoint on it. Like it was an intent to not honor them. All right? That's where they're coming from. So we will find resolution. You do want to talk to someone who deals with something that perhaps I would consider criminal law, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so we want to talk, because sometimes these conversations are had by lawyers and things are taken care of. And I'm not a lawyer, can't give you advice, but I know a lot that I've learned from this, but I can't give you the advice. But I want you to speak with someone, and I'd love to give you some spiritual insight that I'd be more comfortable saying off air than on air. So if you are able, go to sarahspiritual.com. Let's make that connection, and let's take it from there. All right? It'll be all right. All right, honey, bye for now. Bye. 888-565-1470. We're going to take a look at our friends on Facebook and on YouTube. I'm sure we've got some questions popping in the chat, and we want to take a look at what those questions are. So we're going to YouTube, and we've got Sarah Audacity, and she says, "Hi, Sarah. It's lovely to hear my voice," she says. "May I ask which family in spirit or message from a higher source I have for her?" And I'm going to give her, because like right now, life is being a little tough for Sarah Audacity. So Sarah, the first thing I'm made aware of for you right now is there's an intuition that's coming up for you, a knowing that you are being contacted by loved ones on the other side. Maternal energy, female energy stands in the position of your grandmother's energy, mother's energy, camaraderie, friendship is the energy that she brings. Like she was a good friend to you. She was someone you could go to. This is the energy she brings to me. I also am made aware of the guides that are with you is Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel is the messenger, and he's talking to me about, Sarah, you writing and kind of journaling your experiences and your feelings and learning to guide yourself by the feeling you receive inside, writing it down and answering your own questions through a process of the spirit coming through you and giving you the answers. You're working on your connection, and I also feel that this is a time for you to step into looking for new path and career so you could have more abundance flowing in. Thank you, Sarah, for your YouTube question. We're going to pull a question from our friends in Facebook land, and we've got Carmelian Confessor Powell. Okay, we've got a long name here on our Facebook. When will this period of stress end? And she's kind of got like this energy of like, nobody knows the troubles I've seen. And this period of stress is going to end in a timeline that looks more like we're kind of crawling through the end of this year before things really turn around. I actually feel like you're getting squeezed from two directions, and this energy that's pushing is just more than you can bear, as if you're in a pressure cooker. But I will tell you that as the situation begins to right itself, you will see your way out of the storyline, and this will allow you to move forward in your path, in your way, with ease and grace. I feel like a lot of people are pushing on you. A lot of people count on you. This is a time for you to try to choose to put yourself first. Self-care will be very important in this time. As I close you out of the 2022, phew, that's when things start to lighten up for you. And I see like a whole new way of life for you, Carmelian. So thank you so much for your Facebook question. We're going to take another question from our friends on Facebook and YouTube. We've got YouTube. We've got Jennifer Walsh. She says, "Good evening. I'll be traveling this weekend. Any messages from my angels?" Well, Jennifer, it's about time you go on a trip. My angels say to you, you really needed a break. You deserve a break. And this is the time for you to step away from the routine and open up your heart. Be open to share experiences with people around you and with someone so that you get to know the people that are the best for your circle. And you need this break to self-reflect as well. It'll be a good trip. All will be well. You will be safe. It'll be the much-needed rest and break from routine. So enjoy the trip, and your angels will be with you, particularly Archangel Michael, assisting you on the journey of your traveling, keeping that travel safe. Bye for now. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're going to continue answering questions. I've got a caller who's in Deerfield Beach. I really want to talk to her. And then we've got another caller in Deerfield Beach. My goodness, I might as well just run right up the street and hang out in Deerfield Beach. We're having a party. So stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, Wednesday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful 2 hours of life's questions and Spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on WWNN. And we are connecting to our callers all across the nation. We're still having a conversation on Facebook, so put your questions in the feed and our YouTube friends, because we will be back to you and answering your questions. But for this minute, seems to be a lot going on in Deerfield Beach. And I'm going to get to a caller who's been on hold for a while, Margaret in Deerfield Beach. Margaret, how are you?
Hello, I'm happy you're answering my call.
It is my pleasure, Margaret. Thank you so much. Good to connect with you. And how can I assist you today?
Well, I'm interested in my daughter's health.
Okay.
She's having a big problem.
And Margaret, what is your daughter's birthday, please?
It's 11/22/56.
And this is something that we're looking to have a treatment with, yes? Because I feel like there's like next steps that have to happen, and then we want to be sure that those next steps work. And I feel as if it got complicated. Yes, we thought it was going to be one way, and then it seemed to have gotten more complicated as we looked into it. Does that make sense to you, please?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And Margaret, there's a gentleman who's on the other side connected to your husband passed, please?
To my husband?
Yes, I have a gentleman connected to you, stands above you, feels like a husband energy. Has your husband passed? I have this man standing forward.
Has passed.
Okay. Because I see this energy of him around, and it's almost as if he's holding this energy of like he would be there for you if he could. This makes sense to you, please?
Yes.
Okay. And it was interesting when I first connected. I feel like we spent many, many years together. This is true, yes?
Yes.
And so and I know you want to talk about your daughter, but he's really pushing me here. So when I connected, I'd hear this music in the background, and like he only has this connection for you. And so I hear the song, "Are the stars out tonight? I don't care if it's cloudy or bright."
Yes.
'Cause I only have eyes for
Yes.
you.
We were married a long
dear.
time.
And he's got that energy. So he's here. He's supporting you with your daughter as you step forward to talk about your daughter. Really thought that you were going to talk to me about him because he stepped right up. So I just want you to know he's with you and with your daughter.
Thank you.
He wants you to know that. I go into this energy, though. What is connected to you and the family in the month of 8, please? What is August? And August have something to do with you? The month of
Yes.
8, please? Whose birthday or anniversary is that, please?
I don't think that was. Maybe it was my daughter's a long time ago. She was married.
Okay. All right. So we'll leave that there for a minute here and let me continue working with your daughter. So I feel like we need to go to a specialist. We found somebody else to assist your daughter in this healing process, yes?
Yes.
Okay. I feel confident in this person and their ability and their strategy. My guides tell me there's a strategy. There's like 2 things your daughter's going to have to do to make herself be in a better state of health. This is something that I feel is strongly going to take some time. The next 6 months, they make me feel are difficult. There's something she's going to go through in this month of July coming up, please.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So she's going to pass through that, and then there's like 6 months that'll be really rough for her, and then things are going to come back around and come back together for her.
Okay, because she's in another hospital now. Where she had it's not the hospital that she had the surgery, and she's in a hospital closer to her house because she had a seizure.
Okay.
And she's there, and this new doctor is taking care of her.
Right.
And he said that he recommends, right now she's still in there and they're doing tests.
Right.
And he said that the tumor did
Shrink.
get a little bit smaller,
It did,
which is
yes.
good.
Yep.
Does it show that?
I see that, yes.
Yes. And that and they're still doing more tests on her. And she's getting her speech back because she couldn't talk well. And do you see that happening?
Yes, and so it was almost like a seizure stroke, though, is how I see it. Yes?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
that's how I see it. I see it more as a stroke than a seizure, but whatever they want to call it. They're the doctors.
Her
I'm just the
arm was
spiritual
shaking
person.
and
Yeah.
her leg.
And then I
Yeah.
also see her sight. Her sight was off. She wasn't able really to see for a bit, and now that's kind of coming back. That seemed very foggy for me as well. Motor skills, swallowing. So this is all kind of coming back here.
Yes.
So
slowly.
this slowly. So this I feel is going to be good for her, and then I see that there's going to be a treatment plan once they get her stable.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. They want her, when they take her out of this hospital, they're going to send her for treatment for 20 days to a cancer hospital that treats people with the problem that she has for therapy.
Yes, because it's a unique cancer. Not everybody has this. Yes, it's very unique, my guides tell me.
Yes, it was in her head.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to go for 20 days, and then when she's finished there, they want to start her therapy again.
Right.
So
And
does that seem like the right thing?
It does seem like the right thing. We need to treat it. We need to do something. If we leave it, she's going to have more strokes, more seizures, whatever they want to call them. It's going to continue. We need to lessen the pressure. We need to shrink. We need to treat. I'm not a doctor. That's what my guides tell me. That's why I say the next 6 months will be rough, because it's going to be a long path for her. But coming out of the end of the year, she should be stronger. It's up to her to want to fight. I know she wants to.
Very determined.
Yeah, I know she wants to, and she doesn't want to leave you for sure.
Yes.
Like she's your wingman now that your husband passed. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you guys are like peas in a pod. Your
Yes.
husband's still here. He's with you, and you can talk to him anytime. I want you to know he hears you.
And I'm praying to my angels. I have the angel right here near me.
Yes. And Archangel Michael is the angel of protection. Archangel Raphael is the angel of healing.
Michael?
And Michael is healing. Raphael's healing, I'm sorry. And Michael is the angel of protection. And so this angel of protection will keep your daughter safe. And just know that this is going to be okay. She's fighting. It's, of course, always in God's hands. And your husband is here showing you support. And you have to watch your health. I know you're strong,
Yes.
but you need to take care of you. And we
Yes.
cannot get our pressure up. We cannot get ourselves excited. You've got to remain calm and chill here and let the doctors do what they need to do. Your daughter is making good choices. She's going to, again, a good hospital is how I feel. This medical facility will give her the assistance that she needs. So this will work in her favor so that she's ready to step into this healing so that she can have a nice, strong second half of her life.
And the other thing was that I have a slight problem with my lungs, and I'm going to go for a scan again tomorrow. And do you see anything with that? The doctor says it was very minute, but
I don't see that as a big thing going on right now.
Oh, okay.
I feel like we're having difficulty in our breath. We're not getting our oxygen level.
Right.
I don't know if it's just the lung capacity doesn't seem to be as big as it could be. But then again, I'm going to say to you this, darling, how old are you? Okay. So, all right. You're pretty strong for your age. So you are doing well. So I want you to trust this process, go through the test, but every day you breathe in the air and you talk to your angels and you say, I take a breath. I breathe in the breath of life that God brings me. I release what no longer serves me. I breathe in the breath of life that God brings me, and I release what doesn't serve me. And you keep bringing in this breath and you breathe. And as you breathe, you see the power of the divine. You see the light molecules coming into your breath, filling your lungs, infusing them, eradicating any little dot that the doctor thinks he sees.
Yeah.
And just do that.
Right.
You have the power to shift this awareness.
Okay, by doing the deep breathing.
Yes, the deep breathing helps the lungs tremendously. And we're calling on the angels to bring us the miracles that we require. And you send the angels to be with your daughter.
Yes.
And what is your daughter's first name, please?
Lori.
Lori. Well, I will put Lori in my energetic prayers when I ask for healing, and I will include her in that.
You.
All right, Margaret. Thank you for listening to the show. I greatly appreciate it.
I'm happy that I spoke with you and you took the time out for me.
It's my pleasure. Always. That's what I'm here to be of service. Please keep us posted as to your daughter's health.
I will. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye for now. 888-565-1470. And we're going to go back to our phone lines. I've got Cheryl. Cheryl's in Deerfield. Cheryl, how are you?
Oh, hi, Sarah. I'm so glad that I have a chance to connect with you. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You're welcome. So glad to connect with you. I'm glad to take this call and share experiences with you. Cheryl, what's on your mind? What's your question tonight?
Oh, Sarah, I need your help so much. I'm in so much pain. I have so many horrible reactions with my home life. There's a very toxic relationship happening at home. It's
something going on with your son and your husband or something, please?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I see. Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and with me too. I'm trying so hard to keep everything together, but it's been awful. There's no conversation. It's silent, and that's how I'm dealing with it right now.
Right.
And it's really difficult. I just want to know what I should do next. I was thinking it would be best to seek some type of legal consultation.
Well, let's look at
finalize this.
I know this stuckness that you've had. You have. I say this to you, and I say this to everyone. We make our choices in life, and then there comes a time when we realize that things aren't working. And then we hold on and 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 we hold on.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. That's what I'm doing.
And so you're holding on to nothing. And so all you're doing is perpetuating the end because we're afraid to let go because we don't know what's coming. You see, it's the fear of the unknown that's worse than the fear of where we live and how we exist. But we have to let go. This is a popular story in long-term relationships where people are afraid to let go even though they know they have to let go. And it's time. Everything happens for a reason. You were brought together with your husband so you could birth your children so that you could bring them into this world, and the contract's over. But because you feel like you've got to hold on to it for whatever the conditioned belief is around this relationship, you're perpetuating it. According to my guides and the way I look at this energy here, you should have left 9 years ago. But I will tell you that this will end in 2023. So the sooner you sit and you have your conversation with assistance from legal counsel who can advise you appropriately as to what to do, amicably, here's the thing. You have not been appreciated for years, and you have been the person holding up everyone, and you can do it no more. And I hope you're listening to some of the other callers while you're on hold, because you don't want to be in the pickle that some of the other people are in who have health issues or things just start crumbling around them because you're holding on to too much and you're only one person. And you may think you're superhuman, but at this moment, your superpowers are fading. So it's time to have a conversation. You will be fine on your own. Everything will work out. You're creating a rift between everyone because you're not moving forward and making the change. Anything that had to happen in that house, Cheryl, you were the one who made the change. Anything that had to be accomplished, you made the change. You're the get it done girl. And now that things need to end, unfortunately, you got to get this done too. Because I am concerned that your son and your husband will have a conflict that could be irreversible of words said and things happening and just everything imploding, exploding all at the same time. Does this make sense to you?
Oh, my God, yes, it already happened. There were tables thrown. My son actually, he said, I can't take it anymore. I can't take the way you're talking to Mom. He threw things, and things were broken, and I couldn't believe it. There was such an intense energy.
Right.
And it was awful, and now we're all trying to keep calm, and there's a silent treatment, and I'm trying to figure out what I should do next, Sarah.
Okay, but
I really want it to end. I know it has to. I realize
then you
that.
have to, because on the outside looking in, your son is seeing you be disrespected, and he's getting angry because but he's also, I'm going to tell you this because we kind of tell it like it is. He's also frustrated with you because you need to do something about it.
Yes, he is frustrated with me. He said, Mom, he's angry at my voice. I hate your voice. I hate, when you try to set things straight. And I know he loves me, and everything that he says makes a lot of sense. He's very smart.
He is.
And he realizes that I deserve better and that he wants to have a future, and he knows things are messed up.
Right.
And he knows his dad, smokes pot all day, and it's not healthy, and things are just, everything is, it's like on the table, but I don't know where to turn next and what I should do, and I think I need some help. I just need your guidance.
You do. And so we've given you the guidance we can under this venue. I'm going to say, and I think, Cheryl, you have come to see me in West Palm, but I do sessions on the phone via video chat, so many different ways. Go to sarahspiritual.com.
I need more help.
So go on sarahspiritual.com. Let's see the guidance from Spirit and strategize what you do. You do need to take action. We need to address your fears because there's a part of you that's afraid to let go. Your son has his own personality things that he's working on and he's dealing with as well. So this conflict is bad all across the board, but you cannot hold up the world anymore. All right, Cheryl?
Yes.
Okay.
I need help. I definitely need some support, and I need to know what to do next.
So you go to a lawyer who will tell you the steps to take and what your rights are and what your spouse's rights are, and and you just make something happen. He will not do it because he doesn't have his life together. You're going to have to make a change, and he's going to have to figure out how to land on his feet, and that's not your responsibility anymore. He's a grown man. My spirit guide said,
Why won't he leave?
Why
won't he leave? He said he wants to leave.
Yeah, I know, but he's afraid to leave. He can't sustain himself. What is wrong with you? How is he going to leave? Where's he going to go? I mean, really? Okay, so he wants to leave, And so he's saying that. He goes, give me a way out of here. And he's looking for you to fix that too. Right? And, I said earlier, he's a grown man. My guide said it a little stronger than that in my head. He's a grown man. And they had a few other choice things to say. But listen, it's time. And you just can't keep doing this any longer. And this is meant to come to a close. You're perpetuating it. Honestly, it could have been done in 2013. This would have been over.
Oh, yeah.
But here we are.
You're right.
That's the exact marker in time. Cheryl, please go talk to a lawyer. Go to my website. Go to sarahspiritual.com. Let's spend some time together and let's strategize and ease your mind and let's guide you through this and let's get you to the next chapter of your life because there's a lot of great coming for you. And when I fast forward you to 2024, it's a sparkle of glitter and happy. So I got to get you to sparkle, glitter, happy because this is not a happy spot for you.
Oh, I need that so bad. I want that so bad. I need that so bad. I want it.
God helps he who helps himself. Take one step in the direction of where you desire to go, and I promise you God will carry you part of the way. You got to do your part, Cheryl. Thank you so much for calling. I look forward to talking to you again. Bye for now.
I love you, Sarah.
Thank you. My pleasure. God bless you. Stay well. Bye. 888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. I think we have another commercial to pop in, and then we're coming back to the phone line, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And we are back here live on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions all across the nation. And I got to go from Deerfield Beach. I got to go to Houston. We got Mary on the line. Mary, how are you tonight?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to connect with you, my dear. What is your question for me?
How do I fix me?
I got to be me.
I have a lot of health issues.
Yeah. So this year kind of brings you into order and balance. Okay. I see a lot of inflammation in the body. We have a lot of inflammation, yes?
Yeah.
Got joint issues too, yes, please?
Yes.
Okay, digestive issues is off here.
Yes.
Okay, we got a hip or something out of place because, I don't know, the old gray mare just ain't feeling like what she used to be. So we have some difficulty in the hip into the thigh area, please. This is also something that they're making me aware of. And I also feel like levels in your body, be it blood pressure, sugar, these levels are kind of out. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So one step at a time, you've got to make some adjustments. You know that. I'm not going to tell you something you don't know. But there is a second half to the story here. There is some rejuvenation that can come for you. Have we seen another doctor, another specialist? Because I feel like there's someone else you need to see, because I feel like there's still something underlying that they haven't put their finger on in the land of something autoimmune or something. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to go see a neurologist in August.
Okay. And so when we take this next step, I feel like there's going to be some more answers. There's going to be a second rejuvenation coming. So I want you to feel like we're getting answers. Answers are going to help us. I also feel like you feel alone, like you don't feel supported. There's a lot going on where you have to handle everything, and you can't do everything on your own. Is this true? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. This will get better for you, Mary. I do know that when I look at the story here, this year into next year puts things into better order, this year from your birthday to the next birthday. And then I feel like we've got to rearrange, move some things around. I think we want to clear some things. We've got a lot of things around us, please. Is it clutter or boxes? Or?
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay. So I see all this around. So then we'll have the strength to kind of go through that, sort through, and kind of streamline. And then it's possible that there's actually a move for you, because I feel like there's a better spot for you. I don't feel like you're happy or content in the way things are, or maybe even where you live. Does that make any sense to you?
I've never been happy.
Okay. Mary, there is a journey to happiness. Happiness starts on the inside and loving yourself. And then when I take you back into the energy of age 6, age 7, this was a time where a lot of things happened that you didn't feel like you were loved or worthy. Is this true?
True.
Okay. There's a work that I do, Mary. Is this your first time calling the show?
Yes.
Okay. How did you hear about the show?
On Facebook.
Okay. Mary, first, thank you for connecting with us on Facebook. I hope you stay in touch with us. You can go to sarahspiritual.com. I'd love to do a session with you, particularly your soul integration, and get your little girl, because she's still feeling a little wounded and broken, even from way back then. But for this moment, they're waving me off. I hope I've been of some service to you for just this moment that we've had.
Okay. Yeah,
all right.
I hope it all works out.
It will, Mary. Hold on to the faith. Ask the angels to assist you. Bye for now. 888-565-1470. Write the number down and visit us every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 p.m. We've been chatting with you for over 13 years, 639 live shows with you. Next week, 640. I can't wait to connect next week. Follow me on Facebook, Sarah Spiritual, Instagram, YouTube, and catch me at sarahspiritual.com. Local to West Palm, visiting South Florida, come to my center. We'll see you next Wednesday. Good night. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answers your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.